Revelation? You got to put a new picture up there or what?
I get a better profile picture, then I put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, man? Did you go study yesterday? Huh? I make you lose your noggin yesterday.
Yeah.
You back for more?
Yeah. I actually went and studied, and all you said was true. So I definitely agree. As a matter of fact, you opened my eyes, mostly concerning John 3:13. The way I was putting it, it wasn't even for the same context. For it was talking about his literal ascension and descension by his own will. So I totally agree.
Yeah.
I did my research.
Yeah.
But I have more questions.
That's fine. What you got?
It was concerning Revelation, but I think I cut in edit. He was trying to say something.
Yeah, you're fine. So go ahead, Josiah. You're talking about Paul talking to like anybody that he's talking to?
So when Paul says we demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself against the knowledge of God.
Yeah. So let's go to the verse.
So that's 2 Corinthians. So that's 2 Corinthians 10:5.
Right. So people take this verse and say, see, and I'm like, see what? It's funny when people bring there's two verses that they'll bring up a lot. This is one of them, and they'll say, see. So what they're saying is when they say see is if anybody comes up to you, it doesn't matter how they act or anything, you have to answer their questions. No, I don't. That's not what Paul is saying. Paul is not saying you need to chain yourself to the ground. And when someone comes up to you, it doesn't matter what they ask. You better go through there with them. That's not what Paul's saying. Paul's not saying that you are obligated 100%, no matter what the circumstance, appease people and answer every type of question they have. Listen, if you know that there's going to be multiple people asking questions and you know this person is going to just be wasting time, then that means they're not truly asking questions, are they? All right, so let's go to it. Where are we at?
That one is 2 Corinthians 10:15.
All right, 2 Corinthians. So obviously, okay, we're going to start at 2 Corinthians 1. Okay, we're going to start at 2 Corinthians 10:1. You said 10:15, right? Right.
I said 10:5. Yeah, it's 10:5.
Oh, 10:5. That's fine. Well, we're going to start at 10:1. Okay, we're going to start at 10:1. Now, before we go to 10, though, I'm going to read the very first few verses of 9, because remember, it's one letter. But look what he says, the very first few verses in 1 Corinthians chapter 9. He says, am I not an apostle? ? Am I not free? Have I not seen Jesus Christ our Lord? Are not ye my work in the Lord? If I be not an apostle unto others, yet doubtless I am to you. For the seal of my apostleship are ye in the Lord. And he says, mine answer to them that do examine me is this. So he's about to explain those that examine him, right? He says, have we not power to eat and to drink? Have we not power to lead about a sister, a wife, as well as other apostles, and as the brethren of the Lord and Cephas? Or I only and Barnabas, have not we power to forbear working? ? Who goeth a warfare any time at his own charges? ? Who planteth a vineyard and eateth not of the fruit thereof? Or who feedeth the flock? Notice that Paul says, look what he says in, 3. Yeah. So this is 1 Corinthians 9:3. He says, my answer to them that do examine me is this. How is his answer a bunch of questions? I thought we're not supposed to answer questions with questions. Right? Isn't that the philosophical way, right? If you're a philosopher and you want to have a formal debate, that's what they make you. That's what they tell you. You can't answer a question with a question. Don't strong man me. That's a straw man. That's a red herring. In your paradigm, I can go all day with all these buzzwords. They got all these words and they're not saying nothing.
False equivalation fallacy.
Yeah, oh my God, philosophy. It's all philosophy. These people dazzle the audience with words. They dazzle them. But they have no power. There's no power. It's just a bunch of words. No power.
Transubstantiation.
Right. Harmon. So when you came up here asking questions, Harmon, did I dazzle you with a bunch of words or with power? Which one? Which one, Harmon?
With power.
With power, right? Which is the truth. With power. Not a bunch of words and not, hey, Harmon, that's a straw man. Why you straw manning me? Harmon, I know why you see that way in your paradigm, but did I talk to you like that, Harmon? Huh?
No, you actually you're really good. I understood everything.
Yeah, because you don't have to use philosophy. You don't have to use trickery and make people believe that you're so smart. You don't have to do that. You're either going to understand what the Bible says or you're not. And if someone disagrees with you, that's not when you put on your philosophy cap and you're like, whoa, I'm going to cook you today. Listen, you go ahead and cook. But just remember, there's always a better chef. There's always a better boxer. Always. There's always a better one. Okay. Now, there has to be a number one, though. Like, number one, there has to be a champion. But my friend, Mike Tyson used to be champion too. There's always a used to be champion. There's always the best chef until that chef passes away. And now there's a 20-year-old chef, a 30-year-old chef. But Paul is answering a question with questions because that's what God does. You understand? God answers questions with questions. And the people of this world says, you can't do that. You can't do that. Don't answer a question with the question. Who taught you that? Where did you learn that? God didn't teach you that. Man.
As a matter of fact.
Huh.
Yeah, Trot. As a matter of fact, when you get more closer to God, you have better questions and less answers.
Yeah, you got a lot more questions now because you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I thought, hold on. I got more questions. That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen very quickly. But Paul says in 1 Corinthians 9, verse 3, mine answer to them. Answer. He said, my answer to them that do examine me is this. What does that mean? People that examine him. What's that talking about? He's talking about people who are questioning his authority.
Yeah, they're low-key stalkers.
Yeah, they're questioning him like, well, who are you? It's a question. Who gave you this authority? It's still a question. And instead of him answering, he starts asking questions. He says, have we not power to eat and drink? Have we not power to lead about a sister or wife, as well as other apostles, and as a brethren of the Lord and Cephas? Or I only and Barnabas have not we the forbearer of working, who goeth a warfare anytime at his own charges? Who planteth a vineyard and eateth not of the fruit thereof? Or who feedeth a flock and eateth not of the milk of the flock? Say I these things as a man, ? Or saith not the law the same also? Question mark. For it is written that the law of Moses, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of an ox that treadeth out the corn. Doth God take care for oxen, or saith he it altogether for our sakes? All these questions. And he says, for our sakes, no doubt this is written for our sakes, he said, that he that ploweth should plow in hope. In hope. What's the point of getting your garden ready if you truly don't have hope that anything's going to grow? Have you ever seen a man, hopefully you have. If you haven't, go find one. Go find your old country bumpkin dude that's out there in the middle of nowhere planting seed and say, hey, what's your hope this year? How big will there be a plethora of corn? Just see what he says. I'm curious. Hey, so out of all that seed, you think something's going to grow? He might start laughing because, see, he's doing it in hope. He's not doing it with no hope. If you ever go up to someone who's claiming that they're planting seeds, right? They're going to, in a very near future, they are going to reap a great harvest because of all their seeds. If you found someone planting seed that is hoping for a great harvest, or I'm sorry, they should be hoping for a great harvest, but you happen to ask them, hey, how big a harvest do you think you're going to get? And they tell you, we're not going to get any. I'm putting rocks in the ground. They're not seeds. Who would do that? Or who would put seeds in the ground? Who would put seeds in the ground and curse the seed that they're supposed to be getting something from and say, nah, nothing will come out of these seeds, but I'm going to spend a whole month planting them, but nothing's going to come. See, the question that Paul is asking, he's asking someone, he's asking someone that would have wisdom, because if you have wisdom, you should be able to answer the questions that he's asking. So he said, or saith he, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 10, or saith he it altogether for our sakes? For our sakes, no doubt, this is written, that he that ploweth should plow in hope, and that he that thresheth in hope should be partaker of his hope. If we have sown unto you spiritual things, is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things? He says, if others be partakers of this power over you, are not we rather? Nevertheless, we have not used this power, but suffer all things, lest we should hinder the gospel of Christ. Do ye not know that they which minister about holy things live of the things of the temple, and they which wait at the altar are partakers with the altar? ? All these questions that he's asking, that if you're a wise person, you should be able to answer these questions. Guys, if y'all have not reposted the live, go ahead and repost it. Don't forget to tap the screen, and don't forget to share the live. So 13 says, do ye not know that they which minister about... I already read that. 14. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 14. Even so hath the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel. But I have used none of these things, neither have I written these things, that it should be so done unto me. For it were better for me to die than any man should make my glorying void. For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of. For necessity is laid upon me, yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. For if I do this thing willingly, I have reward. But if against my will, a dispensation of the gospel is committed unto me. What is my reward then? Verily that when I preach the gospel, I may make the gospel of Christ without charge, that I abuse not my power in the gospel. For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I might gain the more. And unto the Jews I became as a Jew, that I may gain the Jews. To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them under the law. To them that are without the law, as without law, being not without law to God, but under the law to Christ, that I might gain them that are without the law. To the weak become weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker therefore with you. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run, that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown. This is talking about people who run physical races. They do it to get a corruptible crown. And he says, but we an incorruptible. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air, like someone that's shadow boxing. He says, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be cast away. So this part right here where he says, let me see. Give me a second. Yeah, so in 25 where he says, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things, right? So he's pointing out self-control, right? That talking about Olympians, right? So if people who are part of the Olympics, if they're doing all this training, if these people are doing all this training, then obviously they should be getting a mastery in what they're doing, which is true. 100%. You should 100% gain a mastery in what it is that you're doing. But because you gained a mastery, that means you understand what you have to go through to get that mastery. That's what Paul is pointing out. He's saying if you know what all the time that is put in to become to make a mastery at something, he literally is saying, then you should understand you should understand how to do this with the gospel. You should make this a mastery. And Paul, I'm telling you, Paul is so awesome at what he teaches, because what he's trying to say is, he really is saying this. There's no days off. There's no time off. All the hours of the day is becoming better at your skill. That's all he did. He became better at it. But there's a reason I go over the first part of this. I went ahead and read all of it because it's getting to what he's saying in 10. But it's just so funny that people are questioning him, and he says, this is what I say to them. And basically what he's saying is, I ask them a lot of questions. Why? Why is he asking all these questions? For what reason? There's many reasons, but one of them should be clear. He's asking all these questions because if these people are wise, they should be able to answer all these questions. So what he's saying is, it's not wise people coming up to him and asking him these questions. It's people who aren't wise that are asking him these questions. And he's basically saying in a nutshell, I am who I am. I'm doing what I'm doing because of God. That's why. That's what all these questions lead to. They lead to God is the one that told him to do this. But these people don't recognize that. That should be an issue. That should be an issue. I say this all the time, and I'll speak for myself in this manner. There will be people that are not understanding what I'm saying, and they're like, well, basically it's like, well, because I don't know what you're saying, then what you're saying is not real because I don't. Or they'll just say, oh, well, I know the Bible, and what you're saying, the Bible don't say that. Either way, they don't understand what I'm saying, and I didn't send myself. So again, the questions would come to them just like Paul was giving it to people. Why don't you understand? So he starts off 10 by saying, moreover. Now, somebody tell me, what is he talking about right here? Starting at 12. Does anybody know? What is he talking about in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, starting at verse 12 to like 15? Does anybody know what he's talking about? Or maybe it don't start at 12. Hold on, let me go back, see. Maybe it's at 10. Yeah, 10, 11, 12. It's about right. So I'm sorry. I'm wrong. It's 11. It's not 12. 11, he says, if we have sown unto you spiritual things, is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things? What's he talking about? What's he talking about? Does anybody know? What is Paul talking about?
Money.
Yeah, so Paul makes it so clear that he literally slaves himself to the people so they can spiritually eat from him. And he's saying, guys, like, is it okay if y'all give me something to eat? He's like, listen, he goes, I'm not asking for a mansion. I just want some freaking beans. Can someone please? He's like, if I'm giving you spiritual food and you know that what I'm telling you is a help process for you to grow, which these truths come from God himself, I'm just asking, is it wrong for me to ask for carnal things in this world? Right? So if anybody thinks that I'm bringing this up regarding tithing, you're wrong. Okay. I am not your church. Go to your church and go tithe to your church. Okay. If you want to give me a penny if you want to send a penny to make this gold heart go up a number, that's fine by me. Okay. Because all that's going to do is push the algorithm out more to bring more people in here. Okay. So, but Josiah brought this up. I'm not bringing it up. Paul's not talking about tithing anyway, but he's making it very clear what he's saying. Like, he's like, I kind of feel like I feel bad asking this, but I don't think I should. Like, guys, I feed y'all all the time is what Paul is saying. He goes, is it wrong for me to say? And just so anybody knows, I don't need food. Okay. Paul was a tent maker. And, he wasn't married. You understand? So I'm married. I have my own money. All right. I understand y'all send gifts or y'all do the little thing that's up here. And anytime the money is accumulated, all I do is figure out how can I use those funds to push more descaled content. So if you think I'm reading 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and 10 because I'm trying to tell y'all, y'all need to somehow, that's nope. Josiah just has a question about chapter 10 that's going into like the conversation of like debating and stuff like that. Okay. So 1 Corinthians chapter 10. So after he says all this, he says, moreover, and I say this all the time, if you see a therefore or why for, you want to find out why it's therefore, it's the same thing with moreover. If he's saying moreover, you need to find out what he just climbed over. If he's moreover something, right? And we just went to it 9. Some of it's an 8 too, but he says, moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of the spiritual rock that followed them, and the rock was Christ. But with many of them, God was not well pleased. You hear that? He was not well pleased. You know who he was well pleased with? Anybody know? Huh? Right? This is my begotten son in who I am well pleased. You see how Paul says, he says they were not, he says, but with many of them, God was not well pleased. 6, now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them. As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 23,000. Okay, now, he's talking about the first Pentecost. So he mentions commit fornication. He's talking about fornication against God. It doesn't mean they were not fornicating in the camp, but the fornication, the reason that they're being unalive is because the fornication's already happened in their heart against God. So the fruit of that is going to be them committing physical fornication. But the issue is always the heart first, not the outer appearance. It's always the heart. Let's see. As some of them committed. All right. So this is 1 Corinthians 10:9. Neither let us tempt Christ as some of them also tempted, as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them. Hey, you said, Josiah, you did say 1 Corinthians chapter 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What verse were you concentrating on?
The one where he was.
Okay. You got a phone call?
Sorry, bro. I always forget I can't go off the screen. Let me get to the verse real quick.
Yeah. Just give me the verse number. Go ahead and look for it. I'm just going to continue to read.
Okay, 1 Corinthians. Oh, sorry, bro. I don't know why I'm saying first. 2 Corinthians.
Oh, 2 Corinthians?
I think it's because we had went back into to look at another verse.
But I thought you were talking about, maybe I'm confused on what you're asking then.
No, I mean,
All
everything that you're saying was good and on topic, though. It was on point, bro.
Oh, okay.
I think we did hop over to that, though, because you wanted to show something there.
Okay. So 2 Corinthians what?
2 Corinthians 10 verse 5.
All right, 10:5. All right, I'm going to read it. That way you need to pay attention to see if I'm reading what you want. You're saying 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5. It says, casting down the imaginations that...
Yes, demolishing arguments in every... Well, that's the NIV, but yeah, the one that you're reading is good.
All right. That's fair. All right, well, let me just start at 10:1. So this 2 Corinthians, my bad. I thought you were asking about something else. That's fine. So 2 Corinthians chapter 10, it says, now I, Paul, myself beseech you by the meekness and gentleness of Christ, who in presence am base among you, but being absent and bold towards you. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence wherewith I think to be bold against some which think of us as if we walked according to the flesh. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Do ye look on things after the outward appearance? ? If any man trust to himself that he is in Christ, let him of himself think this again, that as he is Christ's, even so are we Christ's. For though I should boast somewhat more of our authority, which the Lord hath given us for edification and not for your destruction, I should not be ashamed, that I may not seem as if I would terrify you by letters. For his letters, say they, are weighty and powerful, but his bodily presence is weak, and his speech contemptible. So this is what they say about Paul. It's like, man, when we read his letters are powerful. He said, but when we look on them, there's not really much there. Kind of reminds everybody of Trot. Like, you're not really a big dude, but don't let him speak or write a letter, for God's sakes. Sound familiar? So he says, for his letters, 11. So 2 Corinthians 10:11. Let such a one think this, that such as we are in word by letters, then we are absent. Such will we be also indeed when we are present. For we dare not make ourselves of the number, or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves, but they measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves are not wise. So right now, and we're going to get to the part that he says in 5, but right now he's getting into how people are comparing themselves with each other and making that very clear that that's foolish to do that. It's very foolish to compare yourself with other people. It's not wise at all. He says, but we will not boast of things without our measure, but according to the measure, what does that say right there? Oh, of the rule which God hath distributed to us, a measure to reach even unto you. For we stretch not ourselves beyond our measure, as though we reach not unto you, for we are come as far as to you also in preaching the gospel of Christ, not boasting of things without our measure, that is, of other men's labors, but having hope, when your faith is increased, that we shall be enlarged by you according to our rule abundantly, to preach the gospel in the regions beyond you, and not to boast in other man's line of things made ready to our hand, but he that glorieth, let him glory in the Lord. For not he that commendeth himself in approved, but whom the Lord commendeth. And I'm going to read 17 and 18 in Amplified. It says, however, let him who boast in the Lord. For it is not he who commends and praises himself who is approved by God, but it is the one whom the Lord commendeth and praises. So at the end of this, Paul's making it clear, like, it is going to look like it is. Why is it going to look like that? It's going to look like that to people. People are going to see what Paul and them were doing as though they're doing something boastful. And he's like, we're not boasting in ourselves. We're boasting of the Lord. He has to make it clear. Why? Because he's dealing with babies. You understand? A person who is always trying to hold your feet to the fire and say, wow, you're all about you. It's all about you. Before you know it, these people done said 1,000 words about how they believe that you're all about yourself. So Paul has to come all the way down here to stupid level and say, no, bro, we're boasting in God. See, it's easy for us to see Paul saying, we don't boast in ourselves. We boast in God. So babies in Christ are like, see, you need to be like Paul. I need to be like Paul. I'm going to tell you something. I don't have to ever had met Paul. But if Paul believed that unaliving Christians, this is before he was Paul, okay, Saul of Tarsus, So when Saul of Tarsus believed, oh man, you know what? I need to unalive these people. They're crazy. I don't think you realize what kind of man you're dealing with. I really don't. Paul became so humble in how he used to be, but the time that he was doing what he was doing, he thought he was right. He thought he was supposed to unalive these people. So Paul's hands are dirty. I mean, there's no way about it. For Paul to say when he was telling these people, when he said, I wanted to feed you meat, but you were not ready. You're still on milk. And he was confused. He's like, Ali, came over, had to treat you like babies. I don't think you realize how hard of a rebuke that is. Glitching? Guys, is the thing glitching? Tammy said it's glitching. Tammy, it's always...
I wasn't alive and there was glitching in the chat. Let me drop down and see.
Let me see real quick. Hold on. Yeah, it's not me. Yeah, it's Tammy. It's got to be you. It's got to be you though, Tammy, because I looked at my numbers. My numbers were skyrocketed, so it's not my internet. Or it could be maybe TikTok connection or something. I'm not really sure. All right. Yeah. Yeah, guys, let me get a couple more people on the panel. Like, give me two or three more of y'all. For sure, two. Let me get two more of y'all on the panel. We just got to have at least 2 or 3 spots open. I don't want the whole thing being empty.
Yeah, I didn't see you glitching for me when I was down in the comments.
All right, I want to leave at least 2 spots open, guys. At least 2 or 3. Yeah, no, it's not. It's definitely ain't got nothing to do with me. All right, so let me get back to where I was at. Let's see. Preach, not for the commit himself, approved. All right, so in this whole thing, man, in chapter 10, there's a small part where Paul is trying to tell them his job. The whole point right here in 10 is because he keeps pointing to this, guys, we're not boasting of ourselves. We're boasting of the Lord. You understand? That's why he comes to that point at the end. But before he gets to that point, he starts off, and now I'm going to go over the part that Josiah's asking about. I'm going to start at 1 because it's right there in 5. He says, now I, Paul, myself, beseech you by the meekness and gentleness of Christ, who in presence am base among you, but being absent am bold toward you. He says, but I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence wherewith I think to be bold against some, which think of us as if we walk according to the flesh. He 100% is talking about people are saying you're all about yourself. Is that what's being said or not? If you're not sure, go read it in whatever version. I don't care if you got to read that sucker in Spanish. Go understand what Paul is saying in 1 and 2. Okay, I'm going to read it in the Amplified. He says, now I, Paul, urge you by the gentleness and graciousness of Christ, I who am meek, so they say, right? When with you face to face, but bold, outspoken, and fearless towards you when absent. And if you don't understand what that means, I'm going to say it slower because it's. Oh, I hate when he does that. He says, I urge you by the gentleness and graciousness of Christ. He says, I who am meek, so they say, when with you face to face. You understand? There's these people that when they're with you face to face, they say Paul is meek. You understand what Paul is saying?
Yeah, they're two-faced, right?
All right, he's talking about two-faced people, but I'm just going slow because if you don't read 10 in its context, you think the whole thing is talking about arguing and debating. And that's why when Josiah brought this up, I was laughing because people will go to verse 5 right here and just lose its context. The context is important. Paul is talking about two-faced people. That is the context of this passage. So when people bring up 10:5 and say, no, see, y'all are supposed to be debating. You're supposed to be. And they use this. I'm like, well, hold on. That's not the context, though, of what Paul is saying. So he starts this thing off by saying, and I'm going to read it again. OK, pay attention to the wording because he's talking about people who are two-faced. So this is 2 Corinthians 10, verse 1. I'm going to read in the Amplified. He says, now I, Paul, urge you by the gentleness and graciousness of Christ. I, who am meek, so they say, when with you face to face, but bold, outspoken, and fearless toward you when absent. So these guys are coming up and says, wow, boy, when Paul is here, oh, wow, he's so meek face to face. But when he leaves, boy, he writes letters. Boy, he gets on y'all. You see this? You see? Oh, it happens here. It happens here. It happens here on D-Skilled all the time.
Every day.
Wow. Every day. It happens here. People's like, oh, y'all let Trot talk to y'all like that? All the time. How do you not recognize when someone is lying about that? They just care for you. Oh, just care for you, Trot. But face to face, right on the panel, Trot, boy, he's a good teacher. He teaches so good. But boy, when none of us are around, oh, the way Trot teaches them people over there,
I've heard people call you a heretic. I've heard people call you all the things in the book, bro. And I'm just like, yeah, just be there and just listen. Just stay there for a week and listen. I guarantee you'll change your mind. Yeah,
well, majority of them do, and there's even people that it's been years. And, it would be rude if I brought the list up and say, hey, yeah, here we go. Right here. Pull out my banjo. Bing, 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 bing. It was this person, and the next one. Tick, tick, tick. It's never ending cycle because they're in the flesh. They are. When you are attacking a person who is saved, when you're attacking them, chances are, my friend, it's you that's in the flesh. You, the one that's attacking. OK. So what Paul is doing, he's not attacking. He's responding to these attacks. So he says, I ask, this is verse 2, I ask that when I do come, I will not be driven to the boldness that I intend to show toward those few who regard us as if we walk according to the flesh, like men without spirits. He says, I ask that when I do come, I will not be driven to the boldness that I intend to show towards them. He says, I pray that the boldness that I want to be, I hope I'm not that bold that day when I see these people. That's what he's saying. Why? I don't know how else to say it. They're talking crap, okay? These people are talking crap, bro. So they're treating Paul just like they treated Jesus. You just do those things by the devil. So Paul is saying, okay, so these people in your face, they'll tell you that Paul's such a great guy, but what they're really doing is they're going around telling people that I'm of the flesh, that all these things that I'm doing is of the flesh. Well, they said the same thing about Jesus. So I'm going to continue a couple of, I'm going to go all the way down in the Amplified. That way nobody's confused. It says, for though we walk in the flesh as mortal men, we are not carrying on our spiritual warfare according to the flesh and using the weapons of man. Said the weapons of our warfare are not physical weapons of flesh and blood. Our weapons are divinely powerful for the destruction of fortresses. So now he's explaining these people are saying that we're doing things of the flesh. He said we're not doing things of the flesh. It's of the spirit, because we're not attacking the physical people. It's the mind we're attacking, right? We understand? I'm attacking the way they think. So he says, we are destroying, watch this, sophisticated arguments. Before Josiah brought this up, what was I talking about? Philosophy, right? Right? Sophisticated. Right. Well, in your paradigm, you're strong manning. Wow. So sophisticated. He says we are destroying sophisticated arguments and every exalted and proud thing that sets itself up against the true knowledge of God. Against the true knowledge of God. And we are taking every thought and purpose captive to the obedience of Christ, being ready to punish every act of disobedience when your own obedience as a church is complete. He said, you are looking only at the outward appearance of things. If anyone is confident that he is Christ's, meaning if you're confident that you are of God, of Christ, he says he should reflect and consider this, that just as he is Christ, so too are we. He says, so these people that he's talking about up here, if they're claiming to be of Christ, we are too. But that's not what they're telling everybody. They're saying that they're in the flesh. Let me ask you this. If people are trying to make these other people in the church believe that Paul is of the flesh, wouldn't that be saying that Paul is in heresy? Huh?
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. You don't have to say the word heresy or heretic. If you say, oh, man, he's in the flesh, he's either all about himself or it's really all about him, well, then that means he's in heresy then, because if he's not doing it for God, then it's the opposite of God is heresy, bro. They're literally calling Paul the Apostle a heretic. So they're calling him. I don't care if Paul says it here or not. If Paul is saying there are people saying that I'm doing things of the flesh, my friend, then that means they're saying he's not doing it of the spirit. It's not hard. They're calling Paul a heretic, okay? And I can't tell you how many times people come up in here or, behind my back always try to preach his heresy. He's a heretic. It's heresy stuff that he's saying. It's not of the spirit. It's of the flesh. Well, all right. And he said, I'm only going to read a couple more just to drive this one point. Okay, so this is 2 Corinthians 10:8. For even though I boast rather freely about the authority the Lord gives us for building you up and not for destroying you, I will not be ashamed of the truth. Nor do I want to seem to be trying to frighten you with my letters, for they say his letters are weighty and forceful and impressive, but his personal presence is unimpressive and his speech contemptible of no account. Let such people realize that what we say by word and letters when we are absent is the same as what we are in action when present. We do not have the audacity to put ourselves in the same class or compare ourselves with some who supply testimonials to commend themselves. So they commend themselves with testimonies. He says, when they measure themselves by themselves and compare themselves with themselves, they lack wisdom and behave like fools. We, on the other hand, will not boast beyond our proper limit. So these people are all about going to church and having a testimony that is better than the last testimony. Does that sound familiar? That sound familiar? They'll tell you to tell your testimony. It'll be a freaking horror story. Or it'll be a testimony on some great thing that happened. Well, guess what? Here comes the next person. I got a testimony too, and it's a great thing. And it looks like that they mean well. Well, Paul is saying that there's people, they don't mean well. They're just judging themselves based on what other people are doing. So they have to one-up them. How does that make any sense? You want to one-up somebody with a better testimony. Or let's say you were a stupid thug at some point in your life. Well, if somebody brags about how dumb of a thug they were, you're going to go brag on how much dumber you were when you were a thug. And I hate to say it, but that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So now this person is going to go brag about how dumb of a gangster they were. And how do you one-up them? You have to be a dumber gangster. No, I was dumber than you were when I was. These things are of the flesh. You got to be careful about talking about how stupid your life was before you came to Christ. I'm sitting there telling you there are people that do this, okay? But let every man judge his own heart. Judge your own heart on what you're doing, but don't sit here and come to me and try to defend, hey, Trot, that's not what I'm doing. Well, I don't care if that's what you're doing or not. I'm just telling you what Paul is saying. I don't care. Don't come up to me. I could care less about how stupid you were before you were saved. And I promise you, I was dumber, and I ain't doing it the way that Paul's saying don't do it, because y'all don't hear me. I don't come up here and try to brag about certain testimonies. I know what's going on in my life, and you're supposed to know what's going on in yours. Okay, but Paul's making it clear what he's saying. So the whole point, I don't know where Josiah went. Josiah ran off. Josiah, you still in here? He's the one that brought the question. He hop off this mug. You done or what? Why'd you leave the panel? I was about to get to. Why'd you hop off? We're about to get to it. We're already there. Oh, he said he was leaving? So, well, Josiah, I got to ask you. So, in context, I'm here and listening. I'm at work. Okay. So, in context, though, what is Paul talking about? What is he talking about? What's the context of verse 10? Because the context of verse 10 is not about how we're supposed to go around arguing with everybody. That's not the context. The context is how these people are saying that Paul is acting out in the flesh. So Paul's defending himself, and he says, acting out in the flesh? He goes, well, let me explain what I'm doing since you don't know what I'm doing. Since you don't know what I'm doing, let me explain it. So he explains it right here. He says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. He's not at war with the flesh. He says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to pulling down of strongholds. So now he has to explain to these children, this children mindset of people, he has to explain to them what he's doing because they don't understand, because he's carnal, they're saying. He says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Do ye look on the things after the outward appearance? If any man trust in himself that he is Christ, let him know himself, let him of himself think this again, that as he is Christ, even so are we of Christ. So he's just saying that his job, he's literally talking to these people like they're babies. All he's saying is, guys, I don't know why you have people over there saying that we're carnal and we're acting out in our flesh. Guys, listen, when we come against people's way of thinking, we're trying to change. We're attacking the way they think. And we're bringing the imagination that's against God, we're putting it under the feet of Christ. So this is not about debating and arguing. That's not what the whole the context of 10 is. The context of 10 is how you have people that is calling us carnal and we're not. So there is only four verses out of 18. 4 verses out of 18 where he's describing what he's doing. And then the other rest, the 14 verses, is him talking about, like where he says right here, that he goes, not boasting of things without our measure. So he says, when I boast about changing the mindset of someone, he said, I'm boasting in the Lord, not in myself. So 14 verses is Paul saying, guys, what I'm doing is not wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong. These people that are sitting here saying that we're in the flesh, they're wrong for saying it. So I can understand if 14 of these verses were talking about going around and arguing with everybody, and then 4 of the verses was about him saying, I'm not in the flesh, but it's opposite. 90% of the verses, he's talking about not being in the flesh, that the things that he's doing in the spirit. But he explains what he's doing, that someone is having a thought that does not line up with the things of God, and he attacks it and he comes against it. This is not telling you to argue with everybody you come. This is a church, guys. So let's look at the setting here. Paul is the one that built this church, the Corinthian church. He is. It'd be like if there was a physical descaled church in your community, and I'm hanging out here, and then I come and a bunch of y'all come up to me and be like, hey man, there's these people, and they're saying this and they're saying that, and I'm like, whoa. I don't boast of myself. I'm boasting of God. It'd be no different. You understand? Y'all all know me. So people are trying to turn this that Paul, guys, this is a letter to the Corinthian church. Paul knows just about everybody in that church on a personal level, a lot of them. So this is not to be used to tell someone that you're supposed to be arguing and debating with everybody. This ain't got nothing to do with that. Nothing. He's just explaining what he's doing to people when he's over there. Okay? Josiah, does that help? Josiah, that help a little bit? Yeah? All right. Okay. Let me see. Let me move this thing over here. All right, cool. All right. Deep diver in what? All right, so that's that. We aren't doing it out of selfish ambition. Not doing what out of selfish ambition? Arguing? Because that's not the focus of this anyway. Let me just say this. Paul's not talking about if you're on TikTok, okay, and you meet somebody that you don't know and you're casting down imagination. First of all, you can do that. I'm saying that's what he's saying. Yeah, but he's not defending. Listen, Paul's not defending it here. I'm talking about in context. He's not defending going out in the streets, putting up a table and arguing with everybody. That's not what he's defending. It's not what he's defending. He's defending what people are saying at the church. You understand? This is not about going out and just meeting strangers and asking them what they think about the Bible and say, well, that's not true. Let me tell you what the Bible says. That's not what this is talking about. This is the Corinthian church. Corinthian church. But people use this and say, see, we're supposed to argue with people. That's not what this is saying. There's a couple other verses that they mess up too. That's not what this is talking about. In context, that's not what this is talking about. But people use this to say, see, we're supposed to go around. Yeah, Yeah, I get it. But this is not Paul telling you go run around and argue with everybody that doesn't agree with the way you think. That's not what this is not saying that. This has nothing to do with that. OK, there's some other verses that we can use that talk about those kind of things. But people use this, right, to strengthen their argument on. Yeah, we're supposed to argue. No, that's not what this is talking about, bro. OK. Yeah, holding others to original standards. Yeah, kind of like, guys, that's not what I taught you. That's not what I taught you. Why are you saying this and why are you saying that? That is not what I said. That is not, be like Paul saying, guys, listen, I know y'all are tired of hearing it, but when I saw Jesus, for God's sakes, and it was a bright light, why did y'all say that it looked like a dim light from heaven? I never said that. Again, I'm just throwing that out there, but it'd be Paul just correcting him, guys. That's not what I said. I did not teach you that. I don't know where you got that from. That's not what I said. That's not how I do it. It's just him correcting something. Also, he's talking about how there's people in there saying, he's all about himself. Paul's like, no, I'm not all about myself. And he goes, what's funny is those people who are saying that I'm all about myself, they're claiming that they're of Christ. Well, I'm of Christ too. We're both of Christ. So Paul's just kind of shutting down this whole he's a heretic. He's basically saying, if I'm a heretic, they're a heretic. If they're saved, I'm saved, guys. Come on, so let's stop this. Trinity and oneness arguing and say they are contending for the faith. Yeah, bro. Listen, if you're arguing about Trinity, oneness, water baptism, once saved, always saved, if you're arguing about these things, that's not contending for the faith. I don't care what they say. Contending for the faith, my friend, is talking about what faith is, right? When Paul said, he said, have you received the Spirit by the works of the law or by the hearing of faith? Do you understand what he's asking? Was it by the works of the law or by hearing of faith? That is Paul contending for the faith, meaning that you're saved by faith. So contending for the faith isn't saying, I contend for Christianity. That's why you have all these religions. They use this phrase right here. Well, I'm just contending for my faith. When they say they're contending for their faith, they're talking about their religion. I contend for Islam. I contend for the Buddhist people. I contend for, that's not what this is talking about. When you contend for the faith, you are telling people that it is by faith that you are saved, not by the works of the law. And I say this all the time. I don't know if y'all know who Danny P is. He's a Cowboy fan, by the way. But Danny P, 90% of the time, he is contending for the faith. He will not allow anyone, whether it's a black Hebrew Israelite or anybody, make him believe that it's by works. Why? Because he's contending for the faith. He's not contending for Christianity. Okay? He's not. No, he's not. He is contending for the faith. And faith is how we are saved. So if we're saved by faith and you tell people, my friend, you're saved by faith. You're not saved by any other means. You are truly a person that is fighting for that. They are contending for the faith. If you are arguing with another Christian and they say, you have to be water baptized and you don't believe that. So you tell them, no, you don't. And so y'all argue for 30 minutes, my friend. Y'all are both saved. Neither one of you are contending for the faith, bro. But one of them will say, yes, I am, because water doesn't save. Therefore, it's by faith. And they're like, see, I'm contending for the faith. And I'm like, bro, y'all are both saved. What are you talking about? And they're like, well, yeah, but he's saying that I have to be dipped in water. That's works. I'm like, oh, my God. OK, fine. I guess in that category, you can say you're contending for the faith. But the thing is, it's not worth it. Y'all are both saved. Right. Once saved, always saved. Right. They'll say they're contending for the faith, too. Why? Because it's by faith you're saved. So they come against a Christian who is saved. Maybe they're a little unlearned in scripture. That's fine. But you're not contending for the faith against this person. The person's saved already. Y'all are both saved by faith. So you're not contending for the faith. What you're doing is you're probably trying to help that person grow and tell them, no, Just because you stop sinning doesn't mean you're saved. You were saved before you stopped sinning. And then now that becomes a debate. That becomes an argument, right? Trinity and oneness. Oh, my Lord. It's the same thing. If you're just constantly arguing amongst people who are already saved about these things, it's a lot of wasted time. Now, if people are coming up to you because they're really trying to learn and they are bound by the law and they don't know how to like pull out of the rut of this grace versus faith thing, law versus grace, they don't know how to come out of the rut, then you're not doing anything wrong. But again, every person knows, you should know whether you're going overboard or not. And if the person doesn't know, then that's a scary place to be in, right? When all you're doing really is just arguing with a bunch of Christians and you can't see how that's wrong, then something is wrong. Are those people saved? Yeah, I believe the majority of them are. I just think that their mindset towards the Bible is very immature. Like they may have studied out like a topic. They probably got a doctor's degree in, once saved, always saved. They got a doctorate degree in that. But regarding other things, they're babies. They don't understand those other topics. That's really not okay. It's really not. Okay. Now, we're not supposed to condemn them, but if we're being real, that's not okay. There's a lot of the Bible you should understand, a lot of it. Let's see. What time is it? 1. I guess we can go over something. Else. I know Jennifer had a topic. Jennifer, what was something you wanted to talk? I can't remember what it was. Or Harmon, you still in here? I know Harmon said he had a question. I don't even know if he's in here anymore. I don't see him. I guess not. They can get lost in the fog. Yeah. Trot, can we do Revelation? Oh, my Lord. What the? Yeah, we're going to do Revelation. So in Isaiah 11, 1 through 3, it says, and a rod shall come from the stem of Jesse, and the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of might, the Spirit of understanding, the Spirit of fear of the Lord, the Spirit of wisdom, the Spirit of, understanding, the Spirit of knowledge, right? Those are the 6 that are there, but we're revealed in the New Testament, right? That's when the Spirit of revelation comes. So we're going to go over Revelation. We're going to go over the Spirit of revelation. That's what we'll go. Oh, guess what? We go over the Spirit of revelation every day. Every day. Yeah, I don't see Harmon here. Jennifer, didn't you have a question about something? You asked me, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. It was over. Well, the only ones I could think of that would kind of relate to my question is in Leviticus 10:1 and then Jude verse 7, talking about the strange fire and then the strange flesh.
Yeah, so Leviticus 10, oh, that's 9. Where's 10 at? Really? Oh. Yeah, so okay, you said Leviticus 10:1, and what was the other one you said?
Jude verse 7.
All right, you go to Jude, because I'm going to read Leviticus 1. All right, so Leviticus 10:1, it says, and Nadab and Abihu, the son of Aaron, took either of them his censer and put fire therein and put incense therein and offered. Matter of fact, somebody else read that because I've been reading. Somebody else read. Let's do Leviticus 10 and Yeah, somebody read Leviticus 10, 1 through 3. Somebody read that. And Jennifer, you can read. No, you know what? Jennifer, you read that. Jennifer, you read and give that address. No, you're right. You know what? Let's just keep it the way we're doing it. You read the one in the New Testament. Who's going to read Leviticus 10, 1 through 3? Who can read? I need somebody to read that. Anybody? Nobody? Man, y'all sleeping. I made y'all go by now.
I think everybody's at work, probably. Maybe someone in the chat can come up.
You said
Yeah,
Leviticus.
can somebody? CJ, can you?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, so Leviticus 10, 1 through 3.
Hold on, I put in Leviticus 2:10. I don't know what I was doing there.
Yeah, Leviticus 10, 1 through 3, and after that, Jennifer's going to read hers.
Okay. It says, and Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took either of them his censer and put fire therein and put incense thereon, and offered strange fire before the Lord, which he commanded them not. And there went out fire from the Lord and devoured them, and they died before the Lord. Then Moses said unto Aaron, This is it that the Lord spake, saying, I will be sanctified in them that come before me, and before all the people I will be glorified. And Aaron held his peace.
Yeah. All right. So this one's actually pretty simple, really. God he did make it clear, okay, that you're supposed to come to him, or you're not supposed to come to him with strange fire. And that's what these strange fire means. It's not from the Holy Spirit, meaning these boys just put some sticks on fire and put that in a censer and went up there to go talk to God, because in their head, it's fire, it's no big deal, right? But no man can approach God. You understand? If you're not born again, you can't approach God. So even though these are sons of Aaron, right, they're in the priesthood, but there's a time that they're supposed to approach God. And that was not the right time, right? So, all right, Jennifer, give the address where you're at.
It's going to be Jude, and then of course there's only one chapter, so verse 7.
So read 1 through 7.
Okay. It says, Jude, the servant of Jesus Christ, and the brother of James, to them that are sanctified by God the Father, and preserved in Jesus Christ, and called, mercy unto you, and peace and love be multiplied. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you, and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old or ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our God into lasciviousness, and denying the only Lord God and our Lord Jesus Christ. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner given themselves over to fornication, and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. And that's it.
All right. So why'd you bring this up?
Well, I brought it up because I see that unless we are reborn, we can't go to the Lord. We can't go to his throne. We can't go to the mercy seat. None of it. Unless we are reborn, because he can't, if he sees our sin, we're just gonna just be burned up. That's the way I see it.
Well,
So,
that's not the way you see it. That's the way the Bible says it, right? So you can't go up to God with corruptible things. They have to be incorruptible. So in order for that to happen, you have to be born again, because we go from corruptible to incorruptible. So in the entire Bible, in the Old Testament, it talks about strangers, right? Sojourners. So we're not supposed to be strangers or sojourners to God. So strange flesh and strange fire, that is talking about corruptible fire, corruptible flesh, right? So let's find the verse that talks about putting on this incorruptible. Let's go there and look at that. So the way you're seeing it is right, but the Bible tells us this all over the place, right? And that's just you confirming to yourself that the Bible tells us things more than one way. It tells us more than one way. So,
okay. So that will be 1 Corinthians 15.
15
I
what?
want to say around verse 15. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah. Whenever you find it, read 2 verses above it. So whenever you find the actual verse, just kind of go 2 verses above and start reading, and let us know what that is before you start reading.
Okay, so it's going to be 1 Corinthians 15. I'm going to start at 46. Howbeit, that was not first.
I swear, I thought you said Habibi. All right, 46.
Calm down.
Okay, so howbeit, that was not first, which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterward that which is spiritual. The first man is of the earth, earthy. The second man is the Lord from heaven. As is the earthy, such are they also that are earthy. And as is the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly. And as we have borne the image of the earthy, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. Now this I say, brethren, the flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I shew you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in a twinkling of... Okay, so I went up to...
No, that's fine, because that's still saying the same thing. He's still talking about there's a difference between corruptible and incorruptible. But again, Paul says this a lot. He doesn't say this one time. There's a bunch of times where he talks this way. So when you're saying that you're in the Old Testament and you're reading Leviticus 10 and you see Aaron's sons offering strange fire to God and God unalives them, and then you go to Jude and it talks about strange flesh, they're not two different things. They're the exact same thing. Even though one is called fire and the other one is called flesh, if it is strange, it is corruptible because it's not of God, meaning it's of this world. So they both, if a person is not born again, they are going to put themselves in front of God in a strange flesh with a strange fire. Period. The end. And they will become unalived. But a person who is born again, whenever we see him, we will become as he is. You understand? Because when we see him, our spirit, all it's doing is it's waiting for us to see him. Again, I'm not going to go through what that is, but when we see him, we will become as he is. And I've said this before. This is referring to the Mount of Transfiguration. Okay, but Christ had not become unalived yet. So Peter, who was there with him, couldn't become as he is because Christ had not, the resurrection has not taken place yet. The death, burial, and resurrection has not taken place yet. But he was there with him. So because he was there with him, what did he tell the scribes and the Pharisees? Do y'all remember when they said, hey, do they not fast? Do y'all remember that? Where
Yes.
Jesus, okay, and what was Jesus' answer?
That they have him.
He's there, right? He's already there. So what are they fasting for? He's there. If that's true about fasting, it's true about everything. Meaning that when he transfigured, because he is the soul of God, when he put on what he is, the reason that they didn't become as he is because he's there. And the death, burial, and resurrection had not happened yet. So under the legal system, after the resurrection occurs, at that point, if he would have transfigured in front of them, they would have became as he is. It's the only thing that is holding our body back from becoming glorified, is for us not seeing him for what he is. But when we do, we will become as we already are in our spirit. That's already happened. Because 1 John 4:17 tells us, as he is, so are we in this world. So we're already as he is in his spirit, in our spirit. Our spirit is already as he is, right? Because we're already in the image and likeness of God. We already have that. The image and likeness is already as God is. The only difference is we don't have our glorified body. But when we see him, we will become as he is. And, but for those who are not born again, when they see him, they will die. And it's all going to happen all at one time. As soon as everyone sees him, there's going to be a big death and a big resurrection. It's the same thing when you see Samson pushing down the pillars. It all happened at one time. Left hand judgment, right arm, the righteousness of God, the two great pillars being pushed down, both, which that was the resurrection. But what I'm saying is they've already been pushed down, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen when he reveals himself. It'll all happen all at one time, just like it did Samson. Same thing.
So just real quickly, so when it says Michael, the archangel, I kind of see that as
where are you at?
Holy Spirit.
What verse? What verse are you at? Where are you at?
It's going to be still in Jude. Let me
get there. I probably should have just already had that pulled up. I'm trying to use my book more. You know how like you use your calculator to do math, and you're like, and you start doing math like with pen and paper, and you're like, holy crap, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So I get in my Bible, and I'm like, wait a minute, I used to be way better at this. So I'm trying to get back into. And plus, Dre freaking bought me a different Bible. And I know y'all say it don't matter. When you get a new Bible, where you think things are, it's either further up or further back, right? But when you have a very specific Bible, it's like you kind of know exactly where it's at.
I was thinking that the other day. It's so much easier to memorize verses if you memorize it from reading the Bible. Because you can remember where it is. Like it's like a visual thing.
It's weird, man. Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird. All right. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. Where's my... I don't know why I keep forgetting about this. I keep missing it by one page. Because, Jude is, Jude is just a page, bro. Like, if you miss it, you missed it. You're just going to keep going back and forth. I'm like, how do I keep ending back up in Revelation? But my other book, man, I can find that sucker no problem. All right, so what'd you say the verse was, Jennifer? Jude what?
It's going to be in verse 9.
Okay, 9. All right, so let me go to 7. So Jude, verse 7, it says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in a like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth as an example, suffering vengeance of eternal fire. Likewise, also these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of dignities. Yet Michael, the archangel, when contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moses, durst not bring against him a railing accusation, but said, the Lord rebuke thee. But these speak evil of those things which they know not, but when they know naturally as brute beasts, in those things they corrupt themselves. Okay, so what about 9? Why'd you bring up 9? I feel like, Jennifer, you bring up Jude 9 like every 6 months, bro. I really do. I really feel that way. Am I lying? Am I telling the truth here?
Well, in a way, yeah, I do. In a way, it's never for the same reason.
It's never for that.
Last night,
boy, did you? Hey, did you used to be a Jehovah's Witness?
No, I used to be a Trinitarian.
Okay, well, all right. Anyhow, okay. So, all right. Why are you bringing up Jude 9?
Okay, so. Well, I kind of see our reborn spirit as Michael.
What do you mean?
So at the time Moses passed away, he didn't have the indwelling spirit, but he's still.
Who didn't have the? Hold on. Who didn't have the indwelling spirit?
Moses.
Okay. All right. What about it?
So it says that the Lord rebuke you, or thee.
Okay, so Michael said, the Lord rebuked thee. Okay, what about it?
So the purpose of him saying that, is it because Moses didn't have the indwelling spirit? Like, he wasn't sealed yet.
So because Moses wasn't sealed, it changed the way Michael spoke to Satan? That's what you're saying?
Okay, maybe I should just drop it, because I'm kind of scared to say this, because
you think it's
so
crazy.
Many people in here,
it's freaking.
They already think I'm a heretic.
It's already psychotic talking.
It's crazy. Don't say it.
Don't say it. Don't say it, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. So first off, okay. All right. Hold on, Jennifer, hold on. Before we go there, I need you to give me context. I want you to tell me, black letters on a white page. What is the book of Jude telling us? So let's look at the black letters on a white page first. So I want you to read Jude 7 through 9. I want you to read that. Listen to what I'm saying. Black letters on the white page. In context, what is the point?
Okay, so the archangel Michael.
No. I said Jude 7. Start at Jude 7.
Jude said, okay, so the strange flesh, because they went after
No, read it.
Flesh.
No, I want you to read it. I want you to read it out loud. Jude 7 through 9. I want you to read it and then tell me what is the context. What's the point here? What's the point?
It says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. So these people are the one that...
No, you're not done. You're not done. You're not done. All the way to 9. All the way to 9.
Likewise, also these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of dignities.
Okay, before we read 9, 7 and 8. All right, let's just go straight to 8 because this is kind of the focus here, really. I need to know what 8's talking about. And when I say 8, I'm talking about black letters on a white page. So if I hear you say anything about trees, freaking living water, sea, desolate land, if I hear you say anything like that, you're not reading it. What is verse 8 talking about? Or kinda, like, what is it saying?
Well, these are unbelievers. They didn't believe in God.
No, I'm talking about, it says, likewise also these filthy dreamers. Who is it? What is that? Filthy dreamers. What is this?
Like, simple. It's simple.
Yeah, but explain dreamers. What is in the book of Jude? What is it talking about? What dreamers? What dreamers?
Well,
read the Amplified. Matter of fact, let's do this. I want you to read verse 8 in the Amplified. Because remember, verse 7 says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in a like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth as an example, suffering vengeance of eternal life. So 100%, verse 7 is 100% saying, because these people were sinners, they burnt up. Ain't that what verse 7 saying?
Yes.
Okay. So now, what is verse 8 saying about verse 7? It says, likewise, meaning the same thing. So read verse 8 in the Amplified.
It says, nevertheless, in the same way, these dreamers who are dreaming that God will not punish them also defile the body and reject legitimate authority and revile and mock angelic majesties.
Okay, so 7 is saying that the people in Sodom and Gomorrah freaking burnt up because they went after strange flesh. So a human being can call themselves God and they can go after their flesh. If you are following your flesh, my friend, that is strange flesh. If you're following your flesh, if you're being led by the flesh. So in Sodom and Gomorrah, we all know the story, but the focus is they were focused on the false god, physical body. Remember, the Bible tells us that instead of worshiping God, they worship the creation, right? Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Sodom and Gomorrah, look, just to make it simple, Sodom and Gomorrah, these people are not saved people, and they got burnt up. So 8 says, likewise, right, the same way that these people got burnt up, it says also these filthy dreamers. And it's saying that these people are in La La Land, saying that if they don't receive God as their savior, they're not going to get burnt up. That's what it's saying. Likewise, also these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion. Why does it say despise dominion? Because the key focus here is dominion. That's the key focus. Dominion. God gave man dominion. Angels don't have dominion. They don't have a soul. They don't have dominion. Dominion was given to man that have a soul. So it says, despise dominion and speak evil of dignities. So the end of that in the Amplified says, reject legitimate authority and revile and mock angelic majesties. Because remember, the angels came in Gomorrah, Sodom and Gomorrah. The angels came in. Mm-hmm. And those people were rejecting, right? Yes. They were rejecting legitimate authority and revile and mock. They mocked angelic majesties. They wanted to have relations with them. But remember, to them, to the flesh, the angels were strange. Those were strangers to them. But if you are a man of God, angels are not strangers to you. But they were to these people. And so the kicker in 9 is just to allow 7 and 8 to have a melody. So he throws a kicker in there and he says, yet Michael, the archangel, who contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moses, durst not bring against him a railing accusation. And really what it's pointing out, there's people that don't agree with this. I really don't care. But angels don't have soul. They don't have dominion. So that the angel knew that he himself, Michael the archangel, cannot come against another angel. They don't have dominion that way. God has dominion. And God gave man dominion. So we have dominion over Satan, and we can speak to him that way because God gave us dominion. But it says that Michael the archangel, when contending for the body of Moses, didn't dare to bring a railing against, but said, the Lord rebuke thee. He's saying even the angels know that it doesn't matter the position that Satan is in. Angels don't have authority. So when people believe that Michael, the archangel, is Jesus, which is completely nuts, by the way, and I'm sorry for anyone that used to believe that or still does, but Jesus rebukes Satan all the time. Get behind me, Satan. You don't see the way he's rebuking him? Get out of that person. He's always rebuking him. But here, the angel said, the Lord rebuke you. The Lord, not I. So now Michael, who's supposed to be Jesus, now this Jesus doesn't have authority? Michael don't have authority? And they'll say, oh, well, it's because Jesus was a man now and this and that. No, bro. Jesus being the soul of God, always has authority over everything. Always. There was never a time that Jesus didn't have authority. So when they go, yeah, it was because when he got on earth, that's when God gave him the authority. Bro, if Jesus is the word of God, my friend, and anytime God is speaking, Jesus is the word, he's always the authority. Always. Even then, he would have had authority. But again, it's because Michael is an angel. That's the point I'm making. He's an angel. It's not Jesus. It's an angel. And angels do not have authority, period. So do you understand the black letters and the white page, like what's happening right here?
Yes, I see that. But so I see this as Moses basically telling the flesh to shut up.
What do you mean Moses? Moses is not speaking. What are you talking about? What?
Well,
what are you talking about?
Well, aren't we like angels? Like messengers of God?
Okay, now, all right. So let me ask you this. Are we angelic beings?
We have a spirit.
So we have a soul. Angels don't have souls.
Okay, I see what you're getting at. Okay.
Right. Okay. So we're not angelic beings. No. Angelic beings don't have souls. They don't have dominion. We have souls. We have dominion. Completely 1,000 complete different. 1,000% different. Not even close to the same. The only way you can say that we're quote unquote angels is by what the word angel means. Messenger. So in that way you can say that we're messengers of God in that way, but we're not angelic beings. That word angelic being is talking about a being. A man is not the same thing as an angelic being. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so
yeah, I see what you're saying.
So the being is angelic, but you can call them angels because they are messengers of God, but it doesn't change their angelichood. Okay, we are also messengers of God, so you can say that we're quote unquote angels, but we're not angelic beings. We're man.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't have a spirit. Who, Enoch? Who doesn't have a spirit? Who doesn't have a spirit? Or maybe you're talking to someone in the chat. My bad. Maybe you're talking to somebody in the chat. I don't know who you're talking to. Yeah. So just to clarify on the verse 9, Moses had already passed. Moses is unalived at this point. So Moses is not speaking. So Moses is not speaking. And Michael the archangel is an actual angelic being. Alex, what's up, Alex? What's on your mind, man?
Hi, bro.
What's going on?
I have a question. I have a question for you. You say.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Whoa, Alex. Whoa. Hold on. You have a question, or you want to make, or you're trying to make a point?
I question.
No, I think you have a point. I think you have a point to make. Why don't you just make the point?
Yeah, but my English is not perfect. But I'm gonna.
It's good. It's good enough. It's good enough. So go ahead and just make your point, man. What's your point?
Yes. So I have a soul, and the angels have no soul.
Okay.
You say.
Okay. What's your point, Alex? Just get to your point. Go ahead.
Yes. And how some will come after he die? How he come through the woman? She make magic.
Who made magic?
I don't know in English, but there is woman making something like to bring.
What do you?
Let
me. Okay. We're Alex. We're a bunch of Christians up here. Okay.
But this is in the Old
Testament. No, Alex. I'm just saying. Did you know that? Do you know that we're Christians?
You are Christian.
I know. I'm saying. Do you know that? Do you know that?
Okay, you are Christian. Okay.
No. Okay. So now you know. So what do you believe in? Do you believe in Havala? What do you believe in?
I believe in nothing.
You don't believe in nothing. So you're an atheist.
I don't believe that there is soul at all.
Okay. So what do you believe in? How did you come to existence, sir?
I don't believe in soul. This is
okay. Fine. How are you here alive in this world? How are you here? You just popped up? You come out of the ocean?
We are picture of our family, picture of them family, and picture of them family to the past a lot of years.
A lot of years.
It's like this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like this, all picture. We could be each other.
We could be each other. What's your nationality, Alex? Where are you from?
We could be each other. We could be each other.
Yeah. Alex, look. All right, pay attention. Look, me, America. You, what?
I'm Middle East.
Middle East. Where?
Where?
In Europe. Okay, but what part of Middle East? Where?
And I talked with this girl before about the same situation.
Alex, what part of the Middle East? Where? Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia. Where are you from?
Egyptian.
Oh, you're Egyptian. Okay, you're Coptic.
Was.
Yeah, what?
Was Coptic, was Egyptian.
He is cool.
He said was. Okay, Alex, how come you no longer Coptic, brother?
Because I don't believe in God.
Well, okay, if you don't believe in God, why were you ever a Coptic? Why used to be Coptic? If you don't believe in God, you should have never been Coptic.
Because my family are Coptic, so
no, that don't make you Coptic. Just because your family's Coptic, that don't automatically make you Coptic. No, that's not true. So you were never
we
Coptic.
become automatic Coptic, but after
your family's Coptic, but you're not Coptic.
I was.
No, you weren't. No, you were not.
And I was go to church.
No, I don't care. Your family made you go. You never made a choice to be Coptic. You had to go or you get spanking. Huh?
No, Mao know my story. Mao. What do you call it? Mao. Mao knows the story.
Yeah.
I even live with monks.
Yes, I know his story, and he is actually Coptic, Brother Digital. He is actually, like, I speak.
So if he used to be Coptic, that means that he used to be Christian. Yes.
And I see monk was flying also.
Hold on, Alex. Hold on. Meow. So either he used to be a Christian or not. Which one is it?
Yes.
Meow.
He was born, but he wasn't born again. That's what I observed.
Okay, I know. But based on his understanding, he is claiming he used to be Christian, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so ask him, when he spoke to Jesus, did Jesus speak back to him? Ask him in his language.
Yes, he speak back to me. When I was in this imagination.
Okay, so what did Jesus used to say back to you?
I was always imagine that I'm praying. I was praying and I imagine that I'm talking to Jesus. And after this, I feel that happy because I did something good. And I feel that he helped me with the things what I'm doing, what I ask him for. But later I understand that I'm just imagining.
Okay, all right, Alex, hold on. Meow, ask him. Oh, listen, Alex, I need you to tell Meow in your language, okay? Meow, ask him in your language, what did Jesus say? What did he say? I don't want to hear how good he felt. No. Tell her. I want her to tell me. You tell her. She'll tell me.
Alex, إيش قال لك يسوع?
One time I Jesus.
No, Alex, no. Tell her in your language. I want you to tell her right so she can tell me right. I'm tired of guessing. Tell her.
Okay. قال لي يسوع اتبعني. أنا جالي في الحلم مرة قال لي اتبعني بس ده كان حلم يعني ما صدقتوش.
Okay. He said it was a dream, and Jesus told him in the dream, "Follow me."
Okay,
But
so
he said,
okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
He said he didn't believe it because it was only a dream.
Okay. All right. So that means that Jesus never spoke to him then, because he doesn't believe, right?
Yes.
Okay,
because
my friend.
I dream a lot of different dreams.
Hold on. So what I'm telling you, Alex, is Jesus never spoke to you.
No.
Okay, so why did you tell me yes? I asked you, has Jesus ever spoken to you? And you said yes.
Yes, the way how you believe that Jesus spoke to you, he talked to me also.
Who taught you that? Where did you learn? Listen, I'm telling you, Jesus never spoke to you, brother. Never.
Jesus never talked to anybody.
Okay, I don't care about anybody right now. Alex, I'm talking about you right now, brother. Jesus never spoke. The reason why, listen, Alex, the reason why I'm telling you this is because you're claiming you used to be a Christian.
Yes.
Okay. What I'm telling you is you never used to be a Christian because dead people don't talk. Jesus died, right? That's what you believe?
I believe that Jesus died, yes.
Okay, so dead people cannot talk.
Yeah, he cannot come back because
okay. So it sounds crazy to me that you're saying Jesus spoke to you. He can't speak to you. He's dead.
It's dream. It was dream. I can also dream by my grandfather. My grandfather
all right. Also. Okay, exactly. Okay, but you think but your grandparents are dead, right?
Yes.
Okay, you understand. So in your mind, your grandparents and Jesus, they're all dead. So none of them can speak to you, right?
Not about that. There is no speaking by dreams. There is nothing true in this.
Okay. But again, what I'm telling you is they're all dead. So it don't matter if it's a dream or not, they're all dead, right? In your head, they're all dead, right?
They not come personality, so I cannot believe.
Okay, so you have to stop telling people that you used to be Coptic or you used to be Christian. No, you never were. Your parents were, but you never were. You have to stop lying.
Okay, how to be Christian, real Christian, to believe in God. How to believe if I don't have feeling of belief.
Okay, so look, I'm going to tell you that when I talk to Jesus, he talks back. Because Jesus is not dead, but you believe he is. A true Coptic will never say that Jesus is dead. They will say he's alive. So, my friend, you have never been Coptic, my friend. You're lying.
Okay, if he is come back from life, okay. But if he is rise from life, from that, this does not mean that he was talking to me. I don't meet him in my life.
Okay.
What
All
I
right,
can do?
Alex, listen, I'm not here to hear the whole story. I'm just trying to show you something. You need to stop telling people you were a Coptic. You never were, my friend. Never. Stop saying you need to tell people you never believed in the story of Jesus. I don't know why you lie and say you used to believe and now you don't, but you never did.
No, I was Christian.
No, you were not. You say Jesus. You said Jesus is dead. Christians don't believe.
You are Christian, yes?
No.
Your kids Christian?
Okay, yeah, fine. I'm Christian. Okay, what about it?
Your kids Christian?
I don't have kids.
But if you have kids, they are Christian.
Well, give me an age. Give me an age. How old?
Maybe 40.
14? 1 4? 1 4?
40. 40.
40. I'm
you
barely.
Are 40?
No, not me. I'm talking about if I had kids. You're asking about kids. How old are these kids?
Become Christian automatic from Christian family.
Meow. Can you ask him how old? If I had kids, how old is he talking about, please?
Alex,
5 years old.
لا قولها بالعربي.
Oh, Alex, how come you didn't answer my question? But when I get someone to speak your language, all of a sudden you know how to answer me, bro. You see how you playing games, bro?
I'm sorry.
No, you're not sorry. I catch you playing games. Okay, Alex. Okay.
I like
Alex. Okay. So I got kids. They're 5 years old, and you're asking me if they're Christian. Yes.
So your kids is Christian?
No.
Listen,
Alex. Listen. Is that I need a yes or no from you? Are you asking me if I had kids that? Listen, I know you're asking. Listen, you're asking me that if I had kids that are 5 years old, you're asking me if they would be Christian. That's what you're asking me, right?
No, they are Christian or not. Not they will be. They are Christian.
Yeah. No. Meow. Can you tell him? I understand. I'm just trying to get him to tell me yes or no. So he's saying, are they Christian or not? Right, Meow? That's what he's saying to me.
أنت قاعد تقول إنه أطفاله راحين يكونوا مسيحيين أو لا؟
بالطبع لو عنده أولاد هيبقوا مسيحيين هيروحوا مع الكنيسة من صغرهم فطبيعي إنه هيبقوا مسيحيين بالفطنة.
Oh, okay. He's saying that if you are a Christian, then automatically your kids will be Christian. Like
no, ask him. No, ask him. Where did he learn this lie? Where did he learn this lie? No.
You will not bring them to Sunday school.
No. Listen.
مين علمك هذه الكذبة يقول لك؟
I understand him, but I like I always watch your videos, and I like what you are doing. But I just wanted to say my questions.
Well, hold on. But now I need you to understand something. Tell him I want to know who taught him this lie that a 5-year-old kid is what their parent is. Where did he learn this lie? Ask him in your language.
مين علمك إنه إذا أنت أطفالك يعني هم أطفالك عمرهم 5 سنين أنت مثلا مسيحي راحين يصيرون مسيحيين؟ مين علمك هذا الكلام؟
Why they baptize us when we are 40 days old?
So what's the answer to my question? Where did he learn this lie? That's what I want.
قول
لماذا عمدونا واحنا 40 يوم؟
Oh, okay. He said because he got baptized when he was really young. Like
no, that I don't care. That doesn't answer my question. I want to know who taught him that lie. Who taught him this lie? Ask him again.
It's not lie.
مين قال لك؟ مين قال لك هي؟ مين؟
The priest of the church baptized us when we are 40 days old.
Meow,
No,
meow,
مين
meow.
علمك
Who?
الكذبة؟
Who? Hey, meow. How do you say who
I
in
say
his
the
language?
priest.
مين؟
I say
Mean,
the
mean,
priest, the
mean.
church.
No, Alex, mean.
The priest.
Okay, so the priest lied to you, Alex.
Let's lie to everybody.
Okay, well, he
Not
lied to
only
you,
me.
and oh well, it's still a lie. It's
Yes.
not true. It's not true, Alex.
If you see
It's
that
not
this
true.
is lie, then lie to everybody. Then all the church is lie now.
Well, guess what? I'm not lying about it. I'm telling you the truth. That's a lie. A kid is not mature enough to make a decision. Tell him, meow.
But you see this all. Yes, I understand it. But
No,
you see
Alex,
this
no,
always-
Alex, stop. No, you don't understand. Tell him, just tell him anyway, meow. Alex,
Okay.
Alex, please.
Okay, he said that. Oh, هو قال لك إن هو قال لك هو قال لك إنه الطفل مو ناضج كفاية إنه ياخذ قرار إنه هو يتبع المسيح.
40 يوم.
40 يوم 30 يوم هو طفل مو ناضج كفاية إنه ياخذ هذا القرار.
بس انا بسألك انت دلوقتي، هو انت هتعمدي ولادك وهم صغيرين ولا مش هتعمديهم؟
لا
يبقى انتوا بقى مش ارثوذكس.
ما له دخل. الطفل هو اللي ياخذ القرار. إذا طفل
Yes, but
وصل
in Orthodox church is different law.
It doesn't matter brother. He said الطفل مو ناضج. انت لما تاخذ قرار انك تتبع المسيح هذا انت تتبعه بعقلك بكل تفكيرك وبكل قلبك. الطفل ما هو ناضج كفاية انه هو يتبع المسيح.
Yes, okay, I'm agree with you on this point.
Okay, so all right, so meow. So now tell him he has never been a Christian. Never.
I was, but it's okay.
No, my God. No.
It's okay. It's
Based.
okay.
No,
Yes, I learned,
tell him.
yes.
Okay.
Tell him that he
if you-
has to.
in-
How do you say you have to choose? You have to make your own choice. How do you say that?
لازم
If you
تختار.
look,
Tell me again.
Yes,
Tell me
yes,
again
but if you
slowly.
look at
Oh,
my
Alex.
passport, you will
Alex,
find-
hold on. Hold on. Meow. Tell me slowly. You have to choose yourself. How do you say?
أنت you
You.
أنت You.
You.
لازم
أنا نسيت السؤال.
Well, I can't understand you when you're laughing, bro.
أنت لازم
Eklazim. Come on.
تتبع
Next.
المسيح.
Next.
أنت لازم تختار.
Okay. I'm not going there. I can't understand. You're laughing. I can't understand what you're saying, bro.
Okay, I understand you, bro. But how
Okay.
I can believe God and I don't feel Him?
What do you mean you don't feel him? Where are you trying to feel him?
How I want to talk now to God, I will close my eyes and pray. And when I close my eyes and pray, I feel I'm talking to myself. Nobody
Okay.
hear me. I don't.
Okay,
feel.
okay, my friend. If you don't believe nobody hears you, then nobody hears you
Yes.
because you don't believe nobody hears you.
So how I can make myself believe? So I can believe that God.
You can't. You
It's
can't.
not working.
Alex, you cannot make yourself believe. No.
So what I need to do to be Christian?
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this, Alex. Have you ever done something that was wrong and you felt bad about it?
Everybody feel bad about the wrong from all religion, from
Alex. I'm not talking about everybody. You. Have you ever
Yeah.
done something
I
and
am
felt
body
bad?
also. I'm people.
Okay.
I'm one
Now
of the
give me,
people.
all right, Alex, give me an example of something that you've done and you're like, you know what? I should not have done that. What? Tell me. What's the thing that you've done and you feel bad? You should not have done that.
Today I leave the work early, and my boss, and I don't tell my boss, and I was feel
Okay.
bad.
Okay. All right. And everybody has done something like that before, right? Everybody.
Yes.
Okay. So if you leave work early and you feel bad about it, let me ask you, why? Why do you feel bad? There's no God. Why? Why feel bad?
Don't want to leave the work for my boss.
No, it don't matter. There's no God. You should just do whatever you want. It doesn't
My
matter.
feeling, my personality. I have. I don't like to do these things to put my work for my other people.
Okay, so listen, Alex. What you're saying is your soul is telling you.
It's not so.
No, Alex, listen. I don't care if you believe me. I don't care. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen. Okay. I know you don't believe me, but I'm still going to tell you the truth anyway. So you're saying that your physical mind, now listen, was it not your physical mind that said, hey, leave work early, right?
Is my brain is working.
Okay, so you're telling me, hold on. So you're telling me that your brain, the one that told you to do bad, is the same one that is making you feel bad? That's what you're telling me?
Why not? Because, yeah, why not?
Hold on,
because
Alex.
The brain
Alex,
also,
hold on. Alex, hold on. Hold on, Alex.
Hold on, because I have for you a question. In this.
Hold on. Let me land my plane. Let me finish. I'm almost finished. Okay, and then you can say, okay. Listen to what I'm telling you. I know you're saying why not, but I really need you to think about this. Why would your brain tell you to do something bad and then feel bad for telling you to do the bad thing? That doesn't make any sense, Alex. What I'm telling you is something, listen, something else is telling you you should have not done that. It's not the one that told you to do it, Alex.
Yes. When I give my brain plan, about my personality, how should be, I should be honest, I should be, and when I lie, I feel bad because I'm out of the plan.
So let me say it. I don't care if you believe me or not. But yes, I have to tell you, I don't care. You can go after this. You can go do whatever you want. But I still got to tell you, listen, your brain is the one that told you, I'm going to go home early. But after you did it, your soul said to you, hey, we should not have done this. You have two minds inside your head, my friend. Two. You don't have one. I don't know who taught you that you only have one, but you don't seem like a dumb dude to me. You should be smart enough to be honest to yourself and say, okay, hold on. One part of me said, do the bad thing. And then after I did it, it was not the same one that felt bad. It has to be a different one. There has to be something different that is saying, hey, we should not have listened to the head. You are smart enough to know you're having two different thoughts. It's not the same brain thinking two different things. That's a lie. It's not true. It's not true, my friend. No.
Can I answer?
Yes, of course.
When you talk about something, everything collected in the memory of the brain. So I can remember everything what you say, but I can forget because another part of the brain trying to make me forget this, to make me not save everything. Understand? So it's the memory and the unmemory working against each other.
Yeah.
So the brain working like
this. Alex, I don't need an explanation.
And also about soul, there is no.
No, Alex, listen, I don't need you to explain. I don't need you to explain it. I know you think it's just your brain. Listen, I'm not going to argue about it. What I'm telling you is, you have two minds. You have the one that's physical, the one I could touch. I could touch your head with my finger. And your soul is the one that is telling you to stop doing what this thing is telling you to do. But you know what, Alex? You like it. You like that your brain is stupid, and that's what you're choosing. So, my friend, that will be the rest of your life. But if you can be honest with yourself, hold on. Let me finish, Alex. Listen. If you could be honest with yourself and say, okay, maybe there is a soul that is trying to tell me I don't need to live my life like that. But instead of you bowing down to what is true, you stay a fool and you like it when you do bad things. You like it. If you didn't like it, you would cry out for help, but you don't want to cry out for help because you like it. You like being stupid. Right.
sir, I will ask you about something. Now, if you find a man, he is sick, have two double personality. What you call that? He have two souls?
If he has a double personality, hey Alex,
yes.
you know what's real funny? What's real funny is you're so quick to figure out how to mock what I'm saying, you don't even think twice about it. That's not
very fast.
No, listen. The fact that you're mocking what I'm saying is proving even more that you love when your physical head is trying to be stupid. You love it. That's not good for you, my friend. It's not going to hurt me.
I'm trying to figure out with you.
No. Listen, you don't have to. You don't have. Listen. Listen. You don't have to try to figure it out. I've already answered your question, and you don't believe it. That's the problem. You're not trying to understand. You're not going to believe it. It doesn't matter what I say. You're going to choose your head every time. So go ahead. Let me ask you this: how is it working out for you? How is it working out for you when you constantly listen to this liar up here? How is it working out for you? Is it working good? It working out for you? Pretty good? You like it?
Normal. I'm very normal.
Okay. Well, then, so you don't need. Hey, then you, Alex, you don't need my help. Then you don't need my help. You're good.
Yeah, but I have question also.
No, you don't have questions.
So
you don't have questions,
no,
Alex.
If I die, if there is, yes, but no, only one question, please.
Okay, now, you get one more. Hey, Alex, one more. Hold on, Alex, hold on. One more question, Alex, because you don't need my help. You're doing fine without me. You don't need my help. You're doing good. That's what you said. You're not sick. You don't need no help. You're good. Only sick people need a doctor.
But I like to know if I die.
Why? Let me ask you, why do you want to know? Why? What does it matter?
My internet is so bad.
What does it matter?
Do you hear me? Because my internet is bad.
Hold on. Why do you care?
If I die.
Hold on, Alex, hold on. Why do you care what happens after you die? Why? I'm asking you, why do you care?
I want to know if I die and there is God.
Alex,
why I will go to the hell?
Alex, why? Why do you want to know this? That's what I'm asking you.
Because I don't know him.
No. You're not answering my question. Why do you care? Meow. Tell him why. Ask him.
Because I don't know him.
لا يقول لك ليش أنت قاعد تهتم إنك تسأل هذا السؤال.
I understand.
Okay, so then Meow. Hold on, Alex. Hold on. Meow. Tell him to tell you, Alex. You tell her in your language. And Meow. I want him to answer you. Okay. Why does he care? I want him to answer you, and you tell me in English.
Okay, ليش تهتم؟
لأني لا أعرف الله، أريد أن أسأل الذين يعرفوه ماذا سيحدث لشخص مثلي لو أنا مت. إذا أعرف هل لو ذهبت إلى الجحيم لماذا أذهب؟ هل سبب لأني لا أعرف الله؟ لأني لم أتعرف عليه؟
He said he wants to know the believer's opinion.
Why?
About like a person like him who doesn't believe in God. He said like he's in disbelief that he's going to hell because he doesn't believe in him.
So then listen, Meow, why does it matter then? You understand? If I was him, and I said none of it's real, no soul, no spirit, no God, I wouldn't care to ask what's going to happen to me. I wouldn't care. I want to know why he cares. Why? He's not answering the question.
I wanted to know. But this is the answer to the question.
Okay.
Yes, I understand him.
ليش تهتم إذا إحنا بإيش نؤمن أو بإيش نهتم إحنا؟ إذا يعني هذا إيش راح يسوي لك في حياتك؟
هو بيوغوش على السؤال اللي أنا عايز أسأله.
طيب بس أنت ليش تهتم؟
هو فاهم exactly what I want to ask and he doesn't want me to ask.
I'm asking why. Listen, Meow, he's not answering my question. I want to know why does he care? Why?
I said already. I want to know
لا
opinion.
هذا مو
I'm allowed to know the opinion.
أنت قلت إحنا قلنا لك ليش أنت تسأل هذا السؤال.
I'm allowed to know the opinion of the people who believe.
أيوة ليش تبى تزعل؟
Because I like to know the opinion of the people about.
No. Listen, Alex, listen. For God's sakes, Alex, listen. I know that you want to know the opinion. For God's sake, stop saying that. I know. Listen, what I'm asking you is, why do you care? Why? For what reason?
إذا جاوبناك أو ما جاوبناك ليش قاعد
What's the purpose? Ask him, what is the purpose of wanting to know my opinion? Why? He's not answering my question.
إيش الهدف من إنك أنت تبغى تعرف؟ أيوة ليش أنت تبغى تعرف ليش؟
If there is heaven, yes. نعم أنا هجاوبه بالإنجليزي. I know what you mean, but if I ask you, so I know what I will lose if I am wrong.
Still not answering my question. Not answering my question.
That is the answer.
No, that's not answering my question.
Maybe
No.
I would like, okay, if I would like to have your offer.
Alex, اسمع.
If I would like to have your offer and I be in paradise and I change.
All right. Look, meow. Listen, I'm gonna show an example. Okay. So in this cup, I have coffee in this cup.
Yes.
Okay. If you, Alex, were holding this cup and I asked you, is that coffee good? Is it good? And you said,
yes.
If you said to me, why do you care if the coffee's good? Do you know what my answer? No, it's not because I want a coffee also. I want to know if that place coffee is good. The reason that I want, the reason that I want to know, because if it's good, I'm going to go to that place and I'm going to get me one. Okay. But what you're doing is I'm asking you, hey, is that coffee good? Okay. Hey, is that coffee good? And you're holding the coffee and you ask me, well, why do you want to know? I just want to know if it's good. Are you going to go to the store and buy some? No, I just want to know if it's good or not. That don't make no sense, Alex. That don't make no sense, sir. No.
يعني احنا قاعدين نسألك انت ليش تبغى تعرف؟ انت تقول انا ابغى اعرف. طب نقول لك ليش؟ تقول انا بس ابغى اعرف. طيب ايوه ليش؟ ليش تبغى تعرف؟ هو قاعد يقول لك انه هذه القهوة اللي هو ماسكها لو مثلا في احد ماسكها وانت كنت تبغى تعرف المكان راح تعرف عشان انت تبغى تروح لذا المكان تشتري نفس القهوة. بس انت قاعد تسأل بس عشان تسأل. طيب ايوه ليش قاعد تسأل؟
I want to know for reason in my mind.
ليش؟
I want to know because of I want to know.
If you don't listen, Alex, if you don't tell me why, this conversation is over, sir.
Okay. The reasons that I want to compare between nothing and with God. I want to compare.
You want to compare what? You want to compare what?
Nothing and God.
Okay, all right. So, Alex, you need me to help you make that comparison? Why do you need me?
Yeah, it's very easy. Yeah.
Why do you need me?
Why I have to pray and be with the people with Jesus?
No, go, Alex. Go, Alex. Is this your life or my life?
My life, but you are helping me.
No, not life. Live. TikTok live.
It's yours, yeah?
Okay, so listen, this conversation would make sense if it was you who was live and I came in there and I said, you need to be a Christian. See, now that conversation would make sense because I would be in your life trying to convince you. But you are in my life and you're making me convince you. That doesn't make any sense.
No problem. As a brother, no problem.
No. So if you want to go to hell, you can go to hell. Why? I don't care. Why do I care?
Okay, I don't want to go to hell if there is hell.
Okay. Well, that's your choice. I don't care if you go or not.
How I can go to Jesus? How you can make me believe that?
Do you know how to read? Do you know how to read, Alex?
I read all the Bible completely. I read
it all. Okay. Well, there you go. That's the only way you're going to get it because you don't need my help.
I get it.
No,
I
you
read
don't
it
need
completely and I don't understand.
Alex, you don't need my help. Okay, there's nothing wrong with you. You told me there's nothing wrong with me. I'm normal. Then you don't need my help. I don't know why we're still having this conversation.
Okay, bro, I make you lose time, no problem.
It's okay. It's okay. If you want to know,
sorry about that.
if you want to know,
But
the
I
Bible's
enjoy
there, and
talking
you.
with you.
All right. Have a good day.
I read it already completely. Oh,
Okay. Well,
why
keep
should I
reading
read
it.
20 times?
Okay. All right. Well, then stop reading it then. Okay. I don't know. Go fishing. Go fishing, Alex. Okay.
Okay, bro. Thank
All
you.
right. All right. Have a good one.
شيت سمك.
Guys, your job is not to allow someone to make you tell them something they done heard a million times. I know for a fact, just by talking to him, he has asked hundreds of Christians these questions. So if you think that you are going to be the doctor of the day and save this man when he clearly told you he does not want to be saved, you need to leave him alone. Leave him alone. Okay. Just leave him alone. If that person, whenever he decides to be sick and tired of listening to Mr. Stupid up here, he'll make that decision on his own. But if you think that you are going to force someone, no. And Jesus made it very clear that he is only a doctor or a physician to those who are sick, meaning that someone has to first come to an acknowledgement that something is wrong.
Hey, Trey.
They have to first acknowledge something is wrong. He made it clear he's normal.
Sorry.
Nothing's wrong with him. Oh no, you're good. You're good. Giving grace. What's up?
So would that be like a reprobate mind kind of thing just now?
Well, I mean, he could be leading that way. He could be, but whether he's fully reprobate or not, only God will know that.
Okay.
But we have to be able to discern when someone is telling you, I don't believe what you're saying. Everything you're saying is a lie. We don't have no soul. We don't have no spirit. Nothing you're saying.
Right.
When they are at that point, that means that they're not ready to call out for God. So if they're not ready to call out for God, just leave them alone. Tell them, hey, go fishing, bro. Like, why are we sitting here arguing? Go fishing. So what he's used to is very immature Christians trying to help him. Oh, hold on. Maybe I need to pray for you. I don't understand. He made it very clear that he doesn't care. So listen, first of all, let me say this. I don't believe nothing he says. Let me make myself real clear if anybody's confused. First of all, we all know that God is real. Okay, number one. So when someone says, I don't believe there's a soul, I don't believe there's a spirit, there's no hell, there's no heaven. First of all, I don't believe that. You're a liar. I believe that he knows that those places are real, but he's lying. That's what I believe. And when someone is not ready to admit that they're ready to call out for help because Mr. Stupid is over here kicking their button in the world, if they are not sick and tired of being sick and tired, they're not going to cry out for help. So people can say, well, actually, that's why he's here, to cry out for help. No, my friend. No, 100%. He may be thinking about crying out for help. And you're like, yeah, but that's why you're supposed to help him. What I just did was help. If you don't understand what I just did, I don't know what else to. You should be able to recognize what I just did. You need to be able to recognize what I'm calling him on his bluff. It's kind of like a kid telling you, hey, Given Grace, what's your last name? Given Grace.
Sears. My last name is Sears.
Sears. Okay. So let's say I'm your first of all, Given Grace, I don't know how old you are, but this is just fake. Okay. So I'm not saying that you're in your 50s or whatever, but let's just say let's say I'm your child and I'm 8 years old and you made me mad because you didn't give me any extra chicken nuggies. And now I'm mad at you. So I said, you know what? I'm not a Sears anymore. I'm no longer a Sears. I'm taking my He-Man. I'm taking my Donatello and my comic book. And you know what? Tantrum. And I'm leaving. I'm not a Sears. Now, let me ask you, are you believing what I'm saying?
No.
So I go, okay, you better stop me because I'm going to leave. What are you going to do? You going to let me walk out the door?
Probably
if
so.
I'm leaving. You going to let me walk out? You going to let me walk out, right?
I'm going to let you walk out.
Why? But why? Why are you letting me walk out?
Because you're acting very immature.
Yeah, and you know that it's going to be a very short period of time until I realize, okay, this got real. I'm in the street. This got real.
Right.
Okay. Right. So if you don't recognize what I just did, that's just what I did with Alex. Okay, Alex, go. Bye.
Oh, I understand. What you did.
No, giving grace. I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying if there's anyone here that's confused,
that's
because
the analogy.
Right. If anybody is confused, because what typically happens is they're like, oh, guys, everybody come sing, hold hands and sing Kumbaya. We're going to pray for Alex. Listen. If you don't know how to play a player, then you need to go. Something's wrong. Maybe it's not time for you to preach or teach yet, because you can't pick up game. You have to be able to pick up when a child is acting like a child. You have to be able to pick that up. So if you don't know how to use people's feelings against them, then they're going to play with yours. See, and he's in a minute. When someone is used to getting attention by saying, I don't believe in the spirit, I don't believe in the soul, I don't believe in God, when they're used to doing these games, then you have to ask them questions straight up. Say, hey, are you a Christian? No, but I used to be. Oh, really? You used to be a Christian? Yes. Where are you from? Egypt. Oh, so you're Coptic? Yes, I used to be. Okay. Does Jesus talk to you? Well, he did once in a dream. No, he didn't, because you don't believe he's alive. Right. Well, yeah, but it was a dream. It don't matter if it was a dream, bro. You just told me Jesus is dead. So now we know 100%. This person never used to be. A Christian knows that Jesus is alive.
Amen.
Period. All right. So now when the person has told you their truth, which is Jesus is not alive. Okay. Now we're dealing with an antichrist, right? Okay. Yes. Which means it is a very good chance that this person likes to play with people's emotions. That's what he likes to do. So when you go to an immature Christian and you play well, I don't know if this is real, and you're not able to ask the questions that I just asked, so you can put their feet to the ground, make them stand 10 toes on what they claim they believe. You have to know what you're doing. This antichrist spirit, this person is an antichrist. So an immature Christian will fall victim to these kind of people because they make you believe that you're helping them. They make you believe it over and over. 10 years will go by and they're like, oh, you just helped me so. But guess what? They're not ready to give up the carnal mind, which means they're just playing with your emotions. Right. And because they're playing with your emotions, they think they can go play with everybody else's. No, you're not going to play with my emotions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you sayonara. And when you are ready, my friend, come back when you're ready. Not when you lie and say, I have questions. No, you're lying. You don't have no questions. You're just wanting to mock another immature Christian. Well, I'm not an immature Christian, so the mockery is not going to be able to happen. So you can go, it didn't work. It didn't work, ain't gonna work. Okay, now, does that mean that I don't love No, the Bible says that God doesn't want anyone to perish. Therefore, I don't want anyone to perish. But the Bible makes it very clear that we are supposed to discern what type of person we're dealing with. And when discernment hits, you got to be honest with yourself and say, oh, okay, I get it. This is, again, one of those, well, you know what? I'm not a Sears anymore. You know what? I'm no longer living here. I'm going to take my He-Man with me. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to go live in the park. Okay, go ahead, because the world is an ugly place. And until you're able to admit that to yourself, then guess what? That means you're not sick. Therefore, I can't be your physician. Because remember, he said it out of his own mouth. Nothing's wrong with me. I'm normal. Oh, oh, okay. All right. There ain't nothing wrong. All right, Meow, go ahead. Let's hear about your feelings.
Thanks, Scott.
Hi, brother. Okay, so basically, you are like, honestly, you did the investigation for us because Like he used to come to every live and he says like, oh, pray for me, like that, and then he asked question, and then he said it one time. He said like, oh, maybe I will make you all leave Christ. So like he's always like that, and that's the thing. Like one day he came to my live with other people, and then he said, oh, like pray for me and everything, and I told people don't pray for him and everything, but then they started praying, and they told me like, please pray for him and everything. Like
listen, you don't allow an antichrist to tell you to pray for him. He doesn't even know what prayer is. Does it make any sense? It's kind of like an 8-year-old kid coming up to you and saying, hey, can you pray for my wife? And you're like, well, you're 8. You're not married. And you're like, well, my future wife. Okay, fine. Maybe one day the 8-year-old will grow up and get married. I understand that. But if the 8-year-old says, no, I'm married right now. Oh, to who? You're 8. Who you married to? Well, I don't, let's say an imaginary friend. Listen, I'm not praying for your imaginary friend, buddy. Like you're a kid. You don't even know what you're talking about regarding God, prayer, marriage. And you want me to play your game. Listen, Jesus did not tell us to play people's games. He said to telling the truth. That's it. So whatever game any person is playing, they may say, but I'm not playing the game. I mean, how stupid can you be and still breathe and not be able to tell this dude's playing games, bro? How are you still breathing? I don't understand. If you can't discern what I just discerned, then something is wrong with your discernment, whoever you are, if you're not understanding what just happened. Listen, there's no hard feelings to the person that's up here, but you need to be able to discern what is going on. And sometimes you got to ask them questions. Now, if they don't want to answer no questions, then you need to tell them to kick rocks and get somebody up here that's being serious, right? Because he's not being serious. He coming up here trolling. Well, I don't believe in God. There is no soul. Oh, okay. Well, I said, why are you up here? Well, I have a question. What was the first thing I said to him? I said, you don't have a question. You have a point to make. Just make your point. And after a while, he started making his points. His point is, you don't go nowhere when you die. Jesus is dead. He's not alive. I mean, I don't know how much more information you need. What does the Bible say? What's an antichrist? The Bible makes it clear. What is it? Anybody? Chat.
Someone who doesn't believe that Jesus was unalived and resurrected.
Okay, no, listen, say it this way. Death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus.
Unaliving and burial, resurrection.
And resurrection. Okay, the Bible says that if someone does not believe this, they are an antichrist. True?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is who you call a heretic, heresy, antichrist. Not someone that believes that, but they argue with you based on Trinity and oneness. That's not who you call a heresy or a heretic.
I call everybody pagan and a heretic.
Well, you're not supposed to, okay? You're supposed to only call someone a heretic if they do not believe that the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus actually occurred. That is a heretic. What you just saw up here, that's one. What's up? Hey, hold on. Bill, hold on. Let me say this, bro. I don't know what jungle juice. Hold on. Let me say it, bro. Let me say it. I don't know what jungle juice the New York Giants drank before they played that game. That was, bro, listen, they embarrassed the Eagles, bro. That Big was, listen, hold on. They didn't just beat them. They outplayed them, bro. They did both. I mean, it was,
from the first possession all the way to the end.
Oh my God. It never stopped. Listen, hold on. Let me say this last thing. I went and watched all the plays a couple of times. I strongly believe without the fumble and the interception, I still think they would have won, bro. I really do. I really do. So let me ask you this, because I don't know. Hold on.
When we're gonna play you again, we're playing you again.
Yeah, well, I know, but I think Well, hold on. Let me say this before we. And I know people are wanting us to stop talking about this, but it was an awesome game, guys. And I don't mean awesome like good. I wanted the Eagles to lose so bad. I hate to say it, but all right. Okay, Bill, just be honest. Is somebody missing or is someone added to the Giants? What's different about their team? Nothing
They added more plays for Scalabo as the running back, and they took Dart, and they put Dart, and they took this guy, the quarterback out, Wilson, and then they put Dart. Dart's the rookie today.
Yeah, okay. So listen, let me tell you. So when we played the Giants, Scatterboo didn't run the ball like that, bro. That's one. Okay. Two, Dart wasn't the quarterback, correct? Bro, okay. Well, let me just say this. I hate to say it, but the next time we play the Giants is going to be a totally different game, bro. I'm just being straight up, bro. After what I just seen, and let me say this last thing. What about the Eagles? Are they missing someone, or did they add someone, or is it the same team?
Nah, they just look bad. They really look
dog. Bad. Wow, bro. Man, I'll tell you right now, bro. Scatterboo
ain't
no.
The last 2 games they haven't been looking that great.
Scatterboo ain't no joke. Dart and Scat together, bro. All right, Bill. What were you gonna say? I just wanted to throw that out there.
When individuals like that, is that the same thing when Paul was talking about turn them over to Satan, that way they could win some souls, that souls could be saved?
Well, no, not really, because the person that was in this church, and I know people say, no, he wasn't saved. I'm not going to question whether the guy was saved or not, okay? Because we all know that if you have some bad vices when you get saved, they don't all go away overnight. You understand? There are some type of vices that if you're kind of deep, like, for instance, marijuana. I know everybody wants marijuana to become legal in the whole world and all that. I get all that. But it has been proven.
I want that.
Do what?
I want it to become legal.
What?
All right, listen. Don't get.
I want that. I want that. All right, well, yeah, you're right. MJ. You're right, Bill. Guys, we need to say MJ. That's my fault. We need to say MJ. Okay, so it has been proven, okay, that a majority of people that's on MJ, they never get nothing done. So, Meow, that's probably why you still ain't been to school. That's probably why you don't want to go do something because...
Hey, I'm in the university now studying law.
No, I'm giving you a hard time. No, but seriously, it has been proven. It is proof that if you put someone on it, they'll be less effective in the world because they'll be... Y'all don't know the song? I was going to do but then I got high. Like, the song's no joke.
7.
The song's no joke. Hey, listen, the song's no joke. Those people that made that song, they're being serious. They were going to do something, but then they got bro, because the majority of people that are on this, they're less productive. Okay, now, if you become very productive in your life and then you start doing the MJ, you're still going to be able to be productive because you've already learned the skill, whatever it is. But if someone has no skill and they're not productive in the world at all, now it becomes a 50-50 chance whether they're going to be, literally their chances of becoming productive just went down 50%. In some cases, 75, 80. So, what are you looking at?
Yeah. All right. So it's different.
Yeah. What do you mean it's different?
It's different from the guy at Paul from the church.
Yeah. The reason why I'm saying it's different is because chances are this dude was saved, but clearly he still had some vices that he needed to, that he needed some severe work on. So Paul says, hey, kick this guy out of here so the world can beat him up so he can probably remember, hey, buddy, you're going down a pretty bad road right now. So the person we're talking to has never came to the truth. So it's not that we're kicking him out to the world like so he can remember. It's not that. It's just that he's still like, for instance, in Corinthians, the guy at least came to some truth. Okay. He came to some truth to where he can acknowledge, okay, you know what? This is true. I do have to be born again. But then he started acting out his vices again. So I'm not saying that they're not the same. What I am saying is the world can help you understand that something's wrong. So you're doing the same to both. The only difference is the Corinthian guy was saved. So the chances of him, again, he was a baby in Christ. Right. So in Hebrews is talking about, that it's impossible for a person to come back to repentance. That's talking about a very mature believer, because it's talking about tasting the Spirit. A very mature believer. That is not someone that got saved yesterday. It's a very mature believer. So the guy that's in the church was clearly a baby in Christ. Clearly. So to say, hey, you know what? Throw him out to the world. Because obviously he needs another dose of stupid, right? But this guy that comes in here, he's not saved. So he's already on his way to hell. The other guy was saved at least. Meow, what?
Everything you've explained to him, I explained to him like before and stuff. I was like,
okay, all right. So look, I'm glad you said that, because I could already discern that. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I don't know the guy. All right, I've never seen him. I've never talked to him. And if I have, I don't remember. But I can already tell. Like I said, I can already discern he's done this to many Christians. So he's not being genuine. He's not really trying to understand. He's coming with the spirit of Antichrist just to mock. That's it. That's why he goes, hold on, one more question before I go. I already know it's mockery, no matter what he's going to ask. So because of that, that's why I said, whoa, you got one more question? I said, okay, go ahead and ask it, because now I'm just going to do what he's doing at this point. So he's like, okay, so when I die, okay, so I already know it, heaven, hell. Why do you care? Now I have to do what he's doing. Why do you care? And I got him. I hate to put it this way, but I got him. That is not what he wanted to hear, because if I ask, why do you care? There is no answer, because the truth is he doesn't. He doesn't care. So for me to ask him, why do you care? Well, I just want to know your opinion. Sneaky, cunning, but God's cunning is better. God's cunningness is better. That's why the Bible says that David was a cunning player on the harp. That's God's word. That's God's discernment. Cunning, but cunning in God's eyes. His cunningness is of his stupid carnal mind, which we can see a mile away. Or you're supposed to be able to see it. You're supposed to be able to discern. You have to ask someone, is Jesus alive or is he dead? Now, let's say they're being cute and they're like, oh, yeah, Jesus is alive, because they want to keep trolling. Oh, well, then you are a Christian. It's not going to take long for someone to say, oh, no, I'm not a Christian. Okay, well, then now you have some conflicting things here. You believe Jesus is alive, but you're not a Christian? That's very weird. That's weird as heck. So, but again, all I did was call him out on all of his game. Listen, nothing personal against the person, but you need to be able to discern when someone is an antichrist. You have to be able to discern that, because now you're wasting your time. Time is precious. You don't allow Satan to come to you and waste time. Listen, Meow, would you let Alex have your debit card and use all the money he wants every day, all day?
No.
Well, that's crazy. Okay, then. But time is more expensive than that. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so, but when you don't see that time is expensive, you'll waste it with any idiot. You understand?
Yeah.
Time is very expensive. You're never going to get it back. So you have to discern, how am I going to use my time today? And it's definitely not talking to some moron. You can go waste your time with some other idiot. Go to a convert, because a convert will waste their time with you. A disciple won't. but a convert will, because they feel better that they talk to a crazy man about God. They feel better, but no change. There's no change in the man's life. That's the convert attitude. A disciple is going to bring change in somebody's life because they're going to use discernment on who they need to use their time on. You pay attention to Jesus. Jesus didn't just go around saying, everybody come, let me heal. No. He discerned everybody he spoke to. He knew exactly who to speak to, why to speak to them. He knew. He didn't waste his time on anybody. Even when the scribes and the Pharisees went to him, he turned everything into a teaching. Why? Because while he was telling them what they needed to hear, he was teaching the sheep. He didn't take his attention off the sheep and then, let's go back and forth and argue. That's not what he did. He knew that his time here was precious. So when they came to him, he started talking in parables for many reasons. One of them was they're not going to understand, but the sheep are going to understand. So he used the parable because a parable is doing two things, right? Y'all understand? Parables do two things. It does two. It's a duality. To those that have ears to hear, they understand, but the scribes and the Pharisees are still confused. But yet he's answering them. But yet he's teaching the sheep. So when you read the Bible, guess what? The black letters on one page is doing one thing, and the word is doing something else. The black letters on one page is doing one thing, but the word is doing something. The black letters in the white page is not the word. The word is God breathed. It's inside, just like we are. The Bible says that we are God breathed. God's breath is in us. It's not out here. God's breath is not the black letters. It's inside. Paul said that Jesus is the last Adam. But where did he get it? Because it does not say that in Scripture. And they're like, yeah, but it is Scripture now. Yes, but where did he get it? Because it was not written. It was not written like that. He discerned it. He could see it inside. He saw the word, so he wrote it down. And they're like, yeah, but now we don't need the Old Testament because Paul already told us. No, bro, that's not how that works. Absolutely not. Not even a little bit. What time is it? Oh, my God, it's already 2:30. All right, guys, Fam Love, what's up?
Oh, hey, I just was grabbing a box to draw people in. I met a lot of new people recently.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, you're good. Let me see. What was that? Oh, yeah, guys, I'd love to stay, but we got to go. So if you got something to say, whoever, say it now, forever hold your peace. What's up?
You know that song you were singing? I was going to clean my room. You know the song, right?
Yeah.
Someone made a video with it, and they were like, but then I got on TikTok.
Oh, my God. Hey, I was going to do my laundry, but then I got TikTok. Oh, my God. It's so bad.
Right at the end. I'll try to catch you another day, bro.
No, what's up? You got a question or something? Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was like, hey, I was just thinking, I met a lot of new people recently. I'll just hop in one of these empty boxes and just sit here. I literally was just going to sit here.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. My bad. I misunderstood. Yeah, no, you're good. We've already been on for a minute. But I will say this. It's possible. I can't promise this, but it's possible. A D-Scale will be going live this evening, but I can't promise that. But it's more possible today. So,
one more question before you go.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah. The testing of the YouTube yesterday. Where we at that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was just the beginning of that, man. So I don't know yet. So the way TikTok is you have to apply. All right. So basically we're using a different software, but the OC, the one I was telling y'all wouldn't let us go live anymore. Whatever, we're still using that for the podcast. So that thing still got its play. But as far as going live on YouTube and TikTok, we got a different software, I guess, if you want to call it that. And I just downloaded it. I'm calling it downloaded. I just got an account on it or whatever. And you have to apply. So on YouTube, all I had to do is go to my YouTube and they join, no problem. for whatever reason, freaking China TikTok, I don't understand the issue, but it's like you have to apply in order for this to be used on that streaming thing. And I'm like, so I applied for it. I still ain't got an answer. It's supposed to take 24 hours.
Yeah, because we do, debunking Israelite. He does one with, I think it's called Streambird, something like that.
Okay.
And he goes on to that and on TikTok without that. That's another one. I'll get the name of it.
Yeah, look, there's a bunch of them, bro. There's a bunch of them. So, but the thing is, a lot of them you have to pay for them every month. You understand?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, and so the Go Stream that we have, the OC that we have, even though you got to pay a little money to get it, there is no monthly fees. So a lot of these other things that like you're talking about and the one that we're about to start using, after about 2 or 3 years, you pretty much paid. It costs the same to buy one of these things. So after about 4 or 5 years, you're getting your money back. And now again, I get it. It could break in 4 or 5 years. I get that, bro. But in the long run, it is 100 times cheaper. If that thing lasts at least 5 years, bro, like actually 4. If it lasts 4 years, which I understand it's having a problem going live, but I checked it for everything else. Everything else still works. I do not understand. Hey, and we may find the answer or what happened. It could be something stupid like, oh, you forgot to hit this little button, but it's nothing about me going live because I know I did it. Y'all see me. I've done it 100 times. I don't know what the issue is, but you get your money back by buying it. So these other ones, they pay you per month and you're like, oh, that's not bad. Well, after a couple of years, you just spent the same amount of money that it would be to buy one of your own system instead of using someone else's system. So, but anyway, yeah, so we're still going to mess with it. If we go live today, I'm going to try to go live from that only if TikTok allowed me to put their information in the stream, if that makes any sense. So,
right.
Well, yeah. So we just got to play with it. We just got to play with it some more, man. And plus, I'm tired of uploading them. That thing uploads it straight to YouTube, man. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, yeah. I saw it this morning, and I was like, damn, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, we'll see. Good. Yeah, it's so far so good. I don't know. So far, it seems like it's all right. All right, guys, we are out of here. If I don't go live this evening, maybe we'll just see you Monday morning. God bless. We're out of here.
God bless.